So you have decided to buy your first truck, and I can tell you through experience that if you don't buy a good quality truck, then you're gonna have repairs, and the repairs is obviously gonna take you out of commission, which is going to ultimately hurt your bottom dollar. So here's some tips that I can give you on what to look out for and what you should be doing when you first, buy your truck. All right, there's some things that you want, but there's also things that are more of a need. And you're gonna want to prioritize your needs versus your wants. Like I would say a want is the specific type of truck. You know what I'm saying? You don't want a Freightliner, you want a Peterbilt, or you want a Volvo. You only want to mess with Volvos or international, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you have a perfectly fine truck in front of you, then you should just take that truck so you can go ahead and get on the road. Another thing, hey, do I want to use an automatic or do I want to use a manual? You know what I'm saying? A manual will cost you maybe like $5,000 to $10,000 more. Do you really want to pay extra $5,000 to $10,000 more on your first truck just so you can go ahead and have an automatic? Maybe not. Do you need a day cab? Do you need a sleeper? Are you doing local? Are you going over the road? It's going to determine whether or not you decide to go with a day cab or not. Now, I knew I wasn't going over the road, so I decided I want to try to keep a day cab if possible, because day cabs are cheaper than a sleeper. You know what I'm saying? So, and then there's other things that will help determine, like fuel per mile. The less fuel that you consume per mile, it means you'll be saving a lot more money. So, yeah, I mean, those are all things that you want to really research when you are out and making your list of things like, this is what I want for my truck, on top of pricing. Another thing that you want to figure out is if you want to go ahead and pay cash or if you want to go ahead and lease it out. You know what I'm saying? You want to take a loan out for the truck. Going over the road is going to pay more than staying local. So what's the best way for you to be able to afford this truck? It's obviously going to be over the road, but can you afford the truck? Even if you decide to lease it out, you decide to take a loan out for it and then stay local, if that's going to be the way that you want to go. Once you decide what you are looking for in a truck, then it's time to start going to dealerships and looking at trucks. You want to make sure you're doing your pre-trips. You want to take out the truck for a drive. You want to come back, do a approach trip. Definitely make sure that there aren't any cracks in any frames. You want to make sure that there aren't any leaks. And just anything that obviously looks like it could be a problem, you want to make sure that it ain't a problem. If you don't know how to do a pre-trip, then I suggest you look at some videos on how to do a proper pre-trip inspections. That way you can actually, figure out what it is that you're looking at. That's like, okay, what is that? That thing doesn't look like it should look like that. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, there are definitely situations where you'll be like, people will definitely miss some things that you have to, pay attention to at a dealership. Even more so if you're going to go with a private owner. Something I did, which, we ended up having a private owner bring a truck here. And honestly, I wish I would have went there to where they were, because then I'd have been like, it could have been easier for me to be like, nah. But I mean, at the end of the day, where we were with the truck that we bought, I think we would have bought it regardless. So I can't even say that. But probably would have negotiated a little less on that joint though, because there were more when we bought our first semi. That there were more problems than I actually first saw. And if I knew a little bit more about a truck, or if I actually had somebody come out, like a mechanic, come take a look at it, then I would have known about that stuff. So it just is what it is. But you ain't got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and take a mechanic with you, or you could just stay away from private owners to begin with altogether, right? So yeah, that's my recommendation. Stay away from private owners altogether. unless you're going to take a mechanic with you, or unless you are, you have some mechanic skills yourself, that you can go ahead and take a look at a truck and actually be able to be like, okay, I can tell that this is wrong with it, this is wrong with it, so on and so forth. Really, I believe that's everything I wanted to talk about. But just as a real recap, you want to research, make sure you understand the list of what you need in a truck versus what you want in a truck. You want to make sure that you figure out, first off, if you decide to pay full or you want to go ahead and lease the truck, whether or not, what kind of work that you're looking to do, whether or not you can afford the truck. And then last but not least, you want to do your pre-trips when you go out searching for trucks. You want to make sure that, if not, have a mechanic with you to do inspection on the truck, and also figure out whether or not it is that you want to look local, if you're going to be going out of state to check out trucks as well, and try to stay with dealerships versus trying to go with private owners. So with all that being said, yeah, those are the tips I got for you. Hopefully someone found this useful. If you did, why don't you go ahead and leave a like. Might even want to subscribe to the channel, because hey, I'm gonna have more videos like this, try to talk about more about trucking business and my own adventures going out, being in the truck driving industry. That's it. So thanks for watching.